Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I am Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Deadline to authenticate the Citizenship Amendment Bill expires. Uncertainty arises after bill fails to get authenticated for a second time. Meeting of the coalition leaders underway in Balwatar, discussing the president's stance on seat amendment bill and seat sharing in the upcoming elections. Western nations condemn Moscow's plans to hold urgent referendums in parts of Ukraine under Russian control. US, Germany and France refuse to recognize the results. And Hurricane Fiona continues to strengthen with wind gaining speeds of 185 kilometers per hour, also claims 7 lives in parts of the Caribbean. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. The deadline for authenticating citizenship bill sent by the federal parliament for the second time to the president ended on Tuesday midnight. Tuesday was the 15th day after both the houses of federal parliament endorsed the citizenship bill and sent it to the president for authentication. According to the constitutional provision, the president should authenticate the bill within 15 days. However, the stance from the office of the president to authenticate has cast a doubt over the constitutional provision of mandatory authentication once the bill is resent by the parliament. The refusal also has invited political as well as constitutional debate over diverse interpretations in the political sphere. Meanwhile, meeting of the leaders of the 5 ruling parties underway at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar. The meet is discussing the move of the president of not authenticating the citizenship bill for the second time. Issue of seat sharing in the November 20 elections to the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly is also being discussed today. Leaders following a meeting of the 5 parties in Balwatar on Tuesday told media persons that the remaining seats will be settled within days. The Election Commission has determined the offices of the Chief Returning Officers and the Returning Officers for each district in view of the upcoming November 20 elections to the House of Representatives and Provincial Assembly. According to the Commission's spokesperson, Saligram Sarma Podel, said that Chief Returning Officer will have their offices in the district headquarters, while Returning Officers will have their offices in convenient places around the concerned area where he or she will be deployed. The Election Commission stated that the list of the places appropriate to set up offices for the Chief Returning Officer and the Returning Officers have been prepared. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have more updates and let's have the latest from the international front. Western nations have condemned Moscow's plans to hold urgent so-called referendums in parts of Ukraine that are currently under Russian control. The votes have been called by Russian-backed officials in 4 Ukrainian regions to ask whether they should become part of Russia. The US, Germany and France have said they would never recognize the results of such ballots. The NATO military alliance said the plans spelled an escalation in the war. Hurricane Fiona is continuing to strengthen, say U.S. forecasters, having already claimed at least 7 lives in the parts of the Caribbean. Forecasters say the Category 3 storm with winds speeds of 185 kilometers per hour could worsen to a Category 4, the second highest designation. Rain has been lasting Puerto Rico, where at least 4 people died, and the 80% of the island remains without power. Myanmar's military-ruled government on Tuesday denied reports it carried out an air attack on a school in the country's turbulent north-central region that killed at least 7 children, accusing the media of distorting the fact. Major General Jamin Thun, a spokesperson for the ruling military council, acknowledged at a news conference in the capital, Naypyidaw, that there had been fighting last Friday in Tayabin Township in Saga-in region. However, he blamed the government's armed opponents for the casualties, which in addition to children sheltering at the school included 6 adult villagers. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, time to go for a short break. Welcome back. Now to more updates. China sent a new satellite into scheduled orbit from Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China's Gobi Desert on Wednesday. The Yunhai 103 satellite was launched at 7:15 a.m. Beijing time on a Long March 2D carrier rocket. The satellite will be mainly used for detecting the atmospheric, marine and space environments, disaster prevention and mitigation, and scientific experiments. The launch marked the 438th mission for the Long March rocket family. At least 230 whales have been stranded on Tasmania's west coast just days after 14 sperm whales were found beached on an island off the southeastern coast. The port witches stranded on Ocean Beach appear to be pilot whales, and at least half are presumed to be still alive, the Department of Natural Resources and Environment Tasmania wrote. The department said a team from the Marine Conservation Program was assembling whale rescue gear and heading to the area. To more updates, but before that, let's have what we have coming up next. Qatar's ruling emir vowed before the world's eyes at the UN General Assembly to welcome all the World Cup fans without discrimination for the global football tournament. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani said this in his remarks at the 77th remarks of the United Nations General Assembly. Fueled by energy exports, the tiny nation has spent an eye-popping $200 billion on infrastructure and related World Cup projects since winning the bid to host the 5-week-long tournament. Some $6.5 billion of that was spent building 8 stadiums for the World Cup, which kicks off in November. With 60 days to the World Cup tournament, Qatar is hoping to draw billions in tourism dollars. Well, those are the updates from the sports section. With this, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. Deadline to authenticate the Citizenship Amendment Bill expires. Uncertainty arises after bill fails to get authenticated second time. Meeting of the coalition leaders underway in Balwatar, meet discussing the president's stance on Citizenship Amendment Bill and seat allocation. Western nations condemn Moscow's plans to hold urgent referendums in parts of Ukraine under Russian control. The US, Germany and France refuse to recognize the results. And Hurricane Fiona continues to strengthen with wind gaining speeds of 185 kilometers per hour, also claims 7 lives in parts of the Caribbean. Well, that's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. I'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and stay tuned with us. Namaste.